Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella. My friend Spencer is a pretty gifted writer, and he's let that kind of come out recently as a way of dealing with some stuff in his life. And so he writes a blog on a number of things: spirituality, family, fatherhood. And the thing that kind of has been the impetus for doing so is his family dealing with cancer. His wife has a really unique form of brain cancer, and they have been battling it. And it's been beautiful to watch how their family has come together, immediate family and then extended family and friends, to help support them, and how they've shared their story with other people to try to help them. And as I've had conversations with Spencer about this, and his desire to write more and really help other people deal with similar things, or things that aren't perfectly connected but still could be a benefit, he's expressed to me that writing is actually one of the things that helps him control his thoughts. That if he didn't put this stuff on paper, that if he didn't let it out, then those thoughts inside of his head would go the completely wrong direction. See, we all have a tape recorder in our head. There's a tape that plays all the time. And some of us let ourselves push play on the tape that spins negative, that tells us we're not good enough, that tells us we're worthless, that tells us that all is going to end and that it's going to all be bad. And some of us choose to push stop on that tape and push play on another tape that says, you know what? You're bigger than your circumstances. You're more than what you have been. You have more that is to come. Your life is built by more than just an action. We are not measured by just our performance or just our looks. We are way bigger than that, especially if you have a relationship with God. If you know that He sees you differently than you see you. That's the tape we want to have play in our heads. And Spencer just wrote a recent blog about some fear and worry, and he often has these conversations. So he wrote it from the perspective of people asking him questions and his responses. And they said, how can you be so positive? He said, part of it is this. I write. It helps me control my thoughts. Do I have the negative ones? Absolutely. But if I let that spiral out of control, I'm no good to my family. I'm no good to my friends, and I'm no good to this world. And they said, so then what? Do we just not worry? Like, do we just ignore it? He said, no. I have those thoughts. What it is to worry is to be human. In fact, if I didn't worry, I wouldn't care. But worry is going to show up no matter if my wife had cancer or not. If it wasn't cancer, it's my kids. If it wasn't my kids, it's my parents. Worry exists. It's not the elimination of that or the absence of that makes the difference. It's learning to control that and give it proper perspective. And he says, if I've learned anything from my God, it is okay for me to have these thoughts and feelings. But He's given me the ability to control them and to guide them, and to find activities and things that help me do that better. And as Spencer and I have talked several times about what is going on in his head and what tape is he allowing to play, he's developed these opportunities to better control, to make sure that when he wakes up in the morning, he pushes the right tape because he looks across the table at his son who needs him to have that tape playing. And realize that his God sees him through the eyes that he sees his son through. Proverbs 4:23. I've been spending a little bit more time in the Proverbs lately, reading, looking for just this inspiring, hope-laden language. Proverbs 4:23 says, carefully guard your thoughts, because they are the source of true life. That's really positive on it, right? But if we don't guard them, if we let the wrong perception and the wrong narrative live, I'm not suggesting this is simple, but it's important. If we just let thoughts happen to us, they will most likely roll downhill in the wrong direction. But our God has asked us to control those thoughts. Silence one tape and let the other one play. As we continue this series on hope for tomorrow, how to have a hope for tomorrow, this is all based on psychological theory, hope theory. And hope theory says that one, we need to have a bigger picture. We need to look at goals that allows us to see more than ourselves. But the second thing it talks about is our thoughts. If we can control those thoughts, we have a better ability, a more likely ability to move at least towards an opportunity to the next step is actions. And so this week, we just want to kind of push pause on our thoughts. Stop and think through, what are you allowing into your head? Whose voices are you listening to? Which tape do you let play? Spend time this week looking, maybe dig into the Proverbs, or look in the mirror and see what God sees. Start writing down, what am I good at? What has God created me to do? Focus on those things, not the things you're not good at or the things that you weren't, maybe you failed at. Start focusing on the positives and control those thoughts, because hope theory suggests that that's one way that we get more hope in our lives, but it also unlocks actions, which we'll talk about next week. So this week, focus on the positive and let that tape play. Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.